Okay, again, for VTAMS 15, part 1 will be is multiple choice. It has 10 items, and the next part, the part 2, is the open-ended questions composing 15 items. So we'll have a total of 25 items for this session. So are we ready? Are we all ready? Can you give me a thumbs up if everyone is ready? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So let's start.
Yes.
Number 1. A dozen of donuts costs $10. If Miles wants to buy 6 donuts, how much does she need? So we know that one dozen, oh, I'm sorry for my penmanship, is equal to 12 objects or 12 donuts. Okay? And if Miles wants to buy 6 donuts, that means 6 is just half of the dozen. So 1/2 dozen is 6. And since 6 donuts is just half a dozen, that means that its price is also half. Okay? Then that means $10, that is the cost of a dozen of donuts, divided by 2, that is equal to 5. Okay, so the answer is $5. Okay, did you get it right? $5. The answer is B. Okay, that was just easy. Let's continue. Number 2. Mark goes to the local pet store to choose a new pet. They have the following pets to choose from: 8 hamsters, 16 fishes, 10 dogs, and 2 cats. How many ways are there of choosing a hamster or a dog? So, how many ways are there of choosing a hamster and a dog? It means that Mark can only choose one of either a hamster or a dog. So since we have 8 hamsters, that means we have 8 options or 8 ways of choosing a hamster. And also we have 10 dogs. That means we have 10 ways or 10 options of choosing a dog. And since Mark will only choose one pet, so that means we have to add these options. We have to add. And then what would be the answer? It's 18. Okay, so, okay, the answer is A. Yes, the answer is A. Did you get it? Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go. Number 3. Kevin wants to divide 9 dice into 2 groups, such that group 1 has an odd number of dice, while group 2 has an even number of dice. What is the greatest number of dice that can be put in group 1 if no group should be empty? So what should we do here? So we have to note first the conditions, okay? We have here group 1 has an odd number of dice, and group 2 has an even number of dice. So what is the greatest number of dice that can be put in group 1 if no number should be empty? So that means we have to assign at least the least number of dice that can be put in group 2. So what is the least even number since group 2 has an even number? What is the least even number? We have, anyone can answer? Okay, Harvey? Harvey Raz?
7.
No, it's even number. No, for group 2 muna. For group 2, what is the least even number that we can put in group 2?
2.
2. Okay, very good. 2. Since we have the least even number for group 2, we can subtract it from the total number of dice that Kevin wants to divide. So that is 9. Okay, so 9 minus 2, that is 9. That is the total number of dice. So 9 minus 2 is equal to 7. Okay, Harvey got it right. Kanina, the answer is 7. So the final answer is 7. That is letter C. Okay? Okay? Okay, very good. Okay, let me clear this and let's proceed to the next number. Number 4. Micah sets her alarm for tomorrow at 5 a.m. If she wants to have exactly 9 hours of sleep, what time should she sleep tonight? So, what we can do here is to back solve or backtrack the time, okay? If you could understand. Since Micah sets her alarm for tomorrow at 5, that means she will wake up at 5, okay? It is 5 a.m. So we have from 5 a.m., let's go back until 12 in the midnight, okay? To 12 midnight. 12 midnight. That is how many hours? 5. Yes, 5. 5 hours. And since she needed exactly 9 hours of sleep, she wants exactly 9 hours of sleep. How many remaining hours do we have here? We have 4. Since 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. So that means we can subtract 4 from 12. Okay, 12 minus 4. This is equal to 8. Okay? So that means this is 4 hours. Excuse me. This is 4 hours. This is ours. Okay? So that means she should sleep at 8 p.m. so that she can have exactly 9 hours of sleep. Did everyone get that? Okay. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Did you get that? Okay, very good. So, can we proceed? Okay. Next, number 5. The figure below is made up. Okay, someone is raising their hand. Gillian. Yes, you can unmute.
It was for kanina.
What?
Accident po.
Huh?
Po.
What is 4 hours kanina?
Kanina pa. Kanina pa.
Ang ano? This one? This 4 here? 4 hours because from 5 a.m. to 12 midnight, we have 5 hours.
Kanina pa po.
Kanina pa yan? Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, let's proceed. Let's go back to number 5. The figure below is made up of unit cubes. How many 2 by 2 squares can be seen if the figure is viewed from the right? Okay, let me tell you. This one here are the ones that are colored like normal. This one is lighter. If you can see, this one has lighter shade. This one has like darker shade. So let's say this color here is just normal. So this one here are the cubes that we can see in the front. Okay? And the face of the cube here, or the squares here with the lighter shade, this one here, are are the squares that we can see on the top view. Okay? And this one here, the darker shade, you can see the darker shade, are the ones that we can see from the right. Okay, did you follow? So if that question is how many 2x2 squares can be seen if the figure is viewed from the right, we have to see this one. We have to what do you call this? Yeah, we have to use this one, this side here, the right side. So the next thing that we're going to do is to draw. Since it is a 2x2, well, that means that we can draw a two-dimensional square. Just a normal square. Okay? What are the shapes here? So we can have this one. Okay, this one for dito. Then another one. Then also we have the top, this one. Okay, sorry, it's not balanced. These two. And then that two is here. And we have also this one here at the top. So we'll have this one. Okay. And then we also have these two. Right? So we're gonna draw another two squares. There. So then we can see how many 2x2 squares we have if you viewed from the right. Okay? Can you see the 2x2 squares? The 2x2 squares are, let me get another pen, are this one and this one. Is that right? Did you see it? Okay, so the answer is A. We have 2x2 squares. 2x2. If the answer would be D or 7, then that means it's only, we are counting 1x1 squares. Just the 1x1. Or just a unit square. Okay, so the answer is A. Okay, did you get that? We have to draw a 2D squares so that we can see the 2x2 squares. Okay. Everyone get that? Can we proceed to the next number? Okay. You see a thumbs up? Thumbs up. Okay. Let's clear this one and let's proceed to number 6. Along one side of a square plate are equally distanced lamp posts built from end to end. The distance between two adjacent lamp posts is 2 meters. If there are a total of 8 lamp posts, what is the perimeter of the square? So, this line here, at a total of 8 lampposts can be misleading. Okay, this is not the total lamppost in the whole square play area. This is only the total lamppost along one side of the square play area. Okay. I hope everyone was not misled by this total of 8 lampposts. Okay, so let's proceed. So since we have 8 lampposts along one side of the square plate, yeah, I'll draw here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have 8 lampposts. So remember, we are looking for the perimeter of the square plate. So what is the formula for the perimeter? Can anyone tell us what is the area of the perimeter? Okay. So there, I mean, what is the formula of the perimeter? I'm sorry. What is the formula of the perimeter? Okay, let me tell you. The area of the formula of the perimeter is just side plus side plus side
Plus area.
side. So that is S. Or just 4 times side. This is the formula of the perimeter. So since we have 8 lampposts, we can't just go directly to 4 times 8 because we also have here 2 meters. Their distance is 2 meters. So we are going to find the total length of this side. So to get the total length of one side or along one side of the square plane, we'll have 8, since we have 8 lampposts, minus 1. Okay? We have to minus 1 because we are accounting for the distance. So if you can count, if we can count the distance between this lamppost from this lamppost to this lamppost is 7. Okay, let us count. We have 1, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 distance, total of 7 distance between 8 lampposts. Okay? So 8 minus 1 times 2, because we have 2 meters, times 2, 2 meters.
14. 14.
Oh, 7 times 2.
7 times 2 is
14.
14. So 14. So this side has a total length of 14 meters. So now we can proceed to this formula. Sorry. Using this formula. So that means 4 perimeter is 4 times 14. That is equal to how much? 50? 56. So the total perimeter of the square play area is 56 meters. Okay? Or we can also do, that is 14 plus 14 plus 14 plus 14. So whatever you're comfortable with, you can use this one or this one. The answer would still be 56. Okay? Did you get
Clear.
it? Were you not confused of this problem? The answer is C. So you were not confused? That is very good.
It's
Very good.
very good, yeah.
Yeah.
It is now simple.
Yeah, very good. That's good to hear. Let me clear. So we can proceed to number 7. Okay, number 7. Which of the following expressions below will result to 22? So we have no choice here but to solve for all of these options. Oh, sorry. For all of these options or choices. So for this one, we'll have 42 minus 6. And as you can see, we have repeating ones, okay? So we can group this one. And we'll have 1 times 4, since there are 4 repeating ones, okay? Did you follow? Since there are 4 repeating ones, then this would be equal to just 42 minus 6 plus 4. 42 minus 6 plus 4. And that is just equal to 40. Okay, is that right? 40. So
Yes.
this one, B, for B, so we'll also do like this here. I like this one. Okay. We have 11, so we only have one 11, so we'll copy 11 here. Plus, we have how many 2's? How many 2? There are
2.
1 and 2. So we multiply 2 by 2 since it is repeating 2 times. Okay? Plus, we have 1 times how many repeating ones?
7.
7. Okay? Now we can solve, we can have 11 plus 4 plus 7. And that is just equal to 22.
22.
Oh, yes, it's equal to 22. So the technique here, it would be time consuming if you will solve like 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 11. So it will be time consuming. So the technique here is to just group all the 2's and all the 1's, and then if it is repeating, then you multiply it by how many times it is repeated. Okay? And then we'll get this one. And so we can add it easily na. Okay? So for letter C, we know that the answer is B. But if the answer would be here, D, so this one would be substituted here, then we have to solve for these other 2. So we can also, we also do this again. Okay? So that it won't be time consuming. Did you get that?
Clear.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay, let me clear this one. We'll proceed to the next number. Any questions? Okay, let's proceed. Number 8. Which mathematical symbol should replace the symbol, this one, to make the comparison correct? So we have this and this. So what is the first thing that we're going to do? We'll have to solve for both sides.
That's letter C.
Yes, do you agree? So have 10 plus 9 plus 8 is equal to 27.
27.
Right.
27.
Yes. So we have to put blank here since we don't know the symbol that we're going to use. So 29 minus 1 is 28. So what is the symbol that we are going to use? Since we already have this one. It's
B.
letter B. Okay, the answer is letter B. Because the crocodile will eat the one that is bigger. Roar. So the answer is B. Okay, everyone get that? Did everyone get that? Okay. Very good.
Yes.
Number 9. Number 9. 4 quarters make up $1. If a quarter is made up of 5 nickels, how many nickels made up $3 in 2 quarters? So how many nickels? We are looking for how many nickels, and we have $3 and 2 quarters. So we know that $1, excuse me, $1 is equal to how many quarters? It's 4 quarters. 4 quarters. And a quarter And 1/4 is equal to how many nickels? 5 nickels. And since we have, sorry for my penmanship. Okay, let me put it up. And since we have $3.02, we'll have to convert it first. So D for dollars, okay? So because I have a bad penmanship, $2 plus 2/4 and Q for quarters. We'll have to convert it into quarters first. Okay, someone is raising their hand. Yang, Kino. What is it?
I don't understand this.
You don't understand it, so let me explain first, okay? Okay? Okay, after I explain it, if you don't understand, I can go over. Okay. So we have $3. This is dollars. D is for dollars. Q is for quarters. N for nickels, okay? So if we have $3.02, we have to convert first the dollars into quarters. Okay? So if we have $3 and $1 is composed of 4 quarters, we'll have to multiply it by 4. Okay? Then we'll have 2 quarters. So 3 times 4 is just 12. Okay, 12. And we copy this one to 14. So that means we have 14 quarters. So $3 and $3.02 is just 14 quarters. But the question is how many nickels? So we have to convert the quarters into nickels. Okay, so 14 quarters times 5 nickels, that is equal to how much? 70. 70 nickels. So the answer is letter D.
D.
Okay, is this clear? You
Yes.
understand it na?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so we can proceed already?
Yes.
How about Yang? Have
Yes.
you understood it na? Okay.
Yes.
Let me clear this one. Number 10. So this is the last number for the multiple choice for part 1. Okay. So number 10. Which of the following is the correct representation of, oh my God, this is, this is 2/5. This is 2/5. I'm sorry. So the correct representation of 2/5 or 2/5. So who will volunteer? What is the representation of A? Who can volunteer? Okay, Garrett?
C.
Okay, so Garrett, can you unmute? You're the
Letter,
first hand.
letter C.
Letter C? No, yes, the answer is C, but can you tell us what is the representation of A?
19.
1, 9.
19. 19.
Count. 1, 2, 3,
19.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We only have 8 slices. So that means 1/8 slices. Not 1/9. We don't add the total of slices plus the number of slices left. Okay. So there are two representations for this one. We have 1/8 or 7. Okay. 1/8 for the one remaining slice out of 8 slices. And we also have 7 eaten slices of pizza out of 8. Okay? So for B, we have
37.
3,
10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10. 10, not 7. You have 3 shaded rectangles out of 10 total rectangles. Okay? Did you get that? It's not we have 3 shaded and then we'll only count then the rectangles that are not shaded. No, that's not right. We have to count all the rectangles,
The area, all the pieces.
all the rectangles, and then
When you
we'll
want to answer, you unmute
count
yourself.
the one that
Okay?
are
Huh?
shaded.
Ano to? Nakain mo?
Okay?
Yes.
I'm reminding everyone to mute.
Mucho.
Okay. Please mute your mic. And you can unmute if I'll call you for those who want to volunteer. Okay, another representation for this one is 7 out of 10 because we have 7 non-shaded rectangles like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, is that clear? Then for letter C, which is the correct answer, we have
It's clear.
okay, please mute your mic so that everyone won't be distracted. So C, what is the fraction representation of C? We have the correct answer 2 because
3 out of
there are 2 white stars out of all the 5 stars. Okay? Or we can also
answer
have
C.
yes, the answer is
3.
or it has 2 representations. So we can also have 3 out of 5 because there are 3 yellow stars out of 5 stars. Okay? So how about letter D? We can also have here, 1 over 5
By 12.
because there is only 1 sprinkled donuts out of all the donuts we have in the box. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 donuts in the box and there is only 1 sprinkled donuts. Okay? We can also have, let me get another color. 4 out of 5 because there are 4 plain flavored donuts. What's this? 4 plain donuts out of all the 5 donuts we have in the box. Okay, is this clear? Do we get representations of
Yes.
each?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Did you get the answer C?
Yes.
You get the answer C?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. So, let's proceed to the next part. That is the open-ended questions. So, there will be no more choices. We have to answer it directly. So, let's proceed. Number 11. What is the difference between the number of 1 by 1 green squares and the number of 1 by 1 red squares? So, what are we going to do here? It is just to count the number of 1 by 1 green squares and count the number of the red 1 by 1 squares. Okay, so how many green? Okay, let's do. How many green squares do we have here?
9.
It's 9.
9 1 by 1 squares.
Okay, 9. How about the red?
It's 9.
Sabi,
How about the
And
red?
7 1 by 1 squares for red.
Okay,
It's
very
7.
good. So,
The red is 7.
so what are we
Seven.
going to do? Since we are looking for the difference between 1 by 1 green and 1 by 1 red squares, we are going to subtract them. Okay?
So it's 2.
9 minus 7 is 2. So the answer is
2.
okay. That was easy. Is that easy?
Yes.
Yes. Very.
Ah.
So let's proceed to number 12. If the numbers inside two circles that are opposite to each other are to be added, what would be the least sum? So we know here, as you can see, that the two circles that are opposite to each other are just the same color, So we have this one, green, the purple, the orange, and the blue. They're opposite. Okay? So what we're going to do is to get the sum of each pair so that we will know what is the least sum. Okay? Okay, someone has already answered it in the chat. So I will discuss it first. So we have the green one. So for the green one, we have 4 and 6. So that is equal to 10. How about the blue one? The blue one is 5 and 3. That is equal to
It's 8.
8. How about the orange one? 8
And 10.
2 is 10. Okay. And the purple one, the last one, 9
It's 16.
plus 7. Yeah, 16.
Oh, yes,
If
it's
we are going to compare these 4, what pair has the smallest? What is the smallest sum? It's 8.
5 plus 3.
Right.
Equals 8.
Okay, so the answer is?
It's
Answer
8.
is
Simple.
simple. Okay, it's so cute. Okay, let me clear this one and let's continue to 13. Okay, please don't annotate so that everyone will let me clear that one, okay? Number 13. A triangle is any three-sided shape. How many triangles is or are there in the figure below? So, what do you think? How many triangles are there in this figure? Many?
It's 4.
4?
7.
Answer?
7.
7. Okay. Let us count, okay? Let us first count the small triangles. Okay, we have this one. This one are small triangles. 1 and 2. Then the medium-sized one. This is already 2, so let me write it 1. Plus the medium-sized triangles. There is 1. This also here. This big one, this one here. It's already 2. And then this one, 3. So we have plus 3. And we also have the bigger triangles. We'll have this one here. How about this one here? Is that a triangle? Yes?
No.
It's a triangle. This one here.
Yes.
Yes, it's a triangle because it has
Yes.
three sides.
Yes.
And we also
Yes.
okay. And we also have this one. Okay, this is also a big triangle. So that is, we have,
Yeah.
so answer is 7. Okay. Did you get all the triangles? Did you see all the triangles?
Sagot mo.
Seven. Yeah.
Okay. This is
Yes.
two. Sorry, this is two. Sorry. Two small triangles. Sorry. Okay, I stand corrected. Okay, can we proceed? Let's proceed to number 14. Let me clear this first. Number 14. A dozen is a set of 12 objects. Kim bought 1 dozen of donuts. If she divided them equally into 3 boxes, how many are leftovers? So, okay, we have 0. Someone answered 0, so that is right. So let's first look at it. So, a dozen is a set of 12 objects. We have 12.
Answer is 0.
Yes, 0. But let me first discuss it so that everyone will know why. Okay? Okay, 12. And how many boxes would Kim divide the donuts? We have 3.
3.
So the answer is 4. Okay, so that means 4 donuts in each boxes. So 4 donuts in one box for a total of 12. So we have no remainder. So that means we have 0 leftovers. Okay, you got it all right. 0. Okay, that was just easy. But if we have a remainder here, then the remainder would be the number of leftovers. Okay? Okay? Okay?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Let me clear this one and proceed to number 15. Without changing the sequence of the digits, cross out 4 digits from the number below so that the remaining number is as large as possible. What is the remaining number? So let us remember that we are only going to cross out 4 digits. Okay? And the technique here is we cross out the number if the next digit before it is bigger than it. So if we have 1 and 2, the next number after 1 is 2, and 2 is bigger than 1. So what are we going to do? We have to cross out 1. Okay? And 2, the next one here, 2, and the next number of 2 is 5. And 5 is bigger than 2. So that means we are also going to cross out 2. And how about this one? 5 is bigger, 5, the next number of 5 is 6. And 6 is bigger than 5. So we are going to cross out 5. Okay? So the next one, 6, we have 6. And the next number of 6 is 3. Is 3 bigger than 6? No. So that means we are not going to cross out 6. We're just going to retain 6. Okay, let us copy 6. So we have here 3. The next number of 3 is 5. And 5 is bigger than 3. So we are going to, that means we're going to cross out 3. And since we already have crossed out 4 digits, okay, do you agree? We already have crossed out 4. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that means the remaining numbers are the are as large as possible. Are the answer is the answer. So we have 6, 5, 8, 3, 2, 7,
2, 7, 8, 3.
3. So is this your answer? Yes. Have 6. So the answer is this one. Okay, did you get it right?
Yeah.
So the technique, so that was the technique.
Oh.
Remember the technique, okay? So that it won't consume a lot of your time. Okay? So let me clear this one. Oh, and since it is almost an hour, let us have a 10-minute break. Is that all right with you? Is that okay? 10
Yeah.
break. Okay,
Yeah.
you can use this break to pee or to drink water or to eat your snacks, okay? So we will come back at what time? 11:07. Okay. We'll come back at 11:07.
Bye-bye. See you later.
Okay, see you later.
See you later. Put the charge in.
Okay, see you later.
Teacher,
Yes?
my screen is like zoomed in. I don't know why.
Oh, maybe it's in your Zoom. You have zoomed it in your Zoom.
How do you unzoom?
You can pinch it like this.
No. It's not touch screen.
It's not touchscreen. Oh, I don't know how to do that. I to troubleshoot. Sorry. I don't know how to troubleshoot that. I'm sorry. Don't worry, this video is recorded. Oh, I forgot to pause. So you can rewatch this one. Okay? Okay, so we stopped at number 15 and now we'll continue to number 16. What can you add to 9.5?
What's again to number 15?
What is the problem in number 15? This one. To cross out 4 digits. Okay. Can you continue to 16? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 16. What can you add to 9.5 to make a value equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 12 plus 3? Okay, Jericho is raising. What is it?
11.5.
Yeah, the answer is 11.5. And I'll show you how we can get that. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is to make this problem or convert this problem into a mathematical sentence. Okay, so we'll have this one. 9.5 plus something, or we can put it as a blank, equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 12 and plus 3. So, what are we going to do next? It is to solve for this one here. Okay? So, this is equal to what? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 12 equal to 21.
21.
Yes, 21.
21.
And we have here, we copy this one, 9.5 plus blank. And since we are looking for this one, right? We're looking for this one. So we are going to transpose 9.5 here on this side to the other side. We're going to transfer 9.5. How are we going to do that? Let us always remember that when transposing or transferring a number, a digit, to the other side, we have to change its operation. So if 9.5 is positive, when we transpose it to the other side, it becomes minus. Okay, if this one is plus, then when we transpose it, it becomes minus. So that means that blank is equal to 21 minus 9.5. 9.5. Sorry. 9.5. That means that the number that we are looking for is equal to 21 minus 9.5 is 11.5. So the answer is 11.5. Okay. Can see many answers with 11.5. So I guess you got it already. You know how to subtract with decimals. Okay. So let's proceed.
Number 7. Yes.
Yes, okay. We clear number 17. Number 17. Kevin started painting the classic chairs with brown at, what's this? At 8:30 a.m. By 8:50 a.m. of the same day, he had painted these chairs. So he had painted these 3 chairs. If he continues at this rate, at what time should he finish painting all the chairs? Okay, so we know that from 8:30 to 8:50, Kevin finished painting these 3 chairs. So to know the rate or to know the time he had consumed painting these chairs, we have to subtract 8:50, the time he finished painting the 3rd chair, minus 8:30, the time he started painting. So that would be equal to 20 minutes. 20 minutes. So that means that if he is going to continue at the same rate, that means that these 3 chairs is going to take another 20 minutes. These 3 chairs also is going to take 20 minutes. And these 2, this also 20 minutes. So that means Kevin needed another 20 minutes to finish painting all the chairs.
No, tama sana, no?
Okay, so we have to multiply 20 minutes by 3. That is equal to 60 minutes. And 60 minutes is just equal to
Tama na yung sagot natin.
1 hour.
1 hour.
Yes, that's right. 1 hour. So, question. I have a question.
No.
Where do we add 1 hour? Is it from the time it started, from 8:30, or from 8:50 a.m.?
9:50. 8:50.
Okay. We
8:50.
yes, we add the 1 hour from the time he painted these chairs. Okay, the painted the last one, the last 3 chairs.
1 hour is
8:50
1 hour. I want 60 minutes.
Plus 1 hour or 60 minutes, that is equal to 950. So that means Kevin will finish painting all these chairs at 9:50 a.m. So this is the answer.
Teacher,
Yes.
I answered 9:50 a.m. When I put the a.m., I was marked wrong.
Oh, really? Okay, don't
Yeah.
worry about it. Okay, don't worry about it. It will be checked manually and I will tell my colleague, okay? I'll tell my colleague
Thank-
about that.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Can we proceed now? Is this clear? Is this problem clear?
Yeah. Yes.
Can we clear this one?
Yes.
And
It's clear.
let's continue to the next number.
Oh,
Number 18. At least how many unit cubes should be added to the figure below to make a bigger cube? Okay? Okay, so first, since this is a cube, remember that a cube is three-dimensional. A cube is three-dimensional. It has a length, it has a width, and it has a height. But since a cube is a cube has equal sides or equal dimensions, that means we can also have this side times side times side. Okay, actually this is the formula for the volume of a cube, but anyway, that is another topic. Okay, so the question is, at least how many unit cube should be added to the figure below to make a bigger cube? Since a cube has equal dimensions, that means that we are going to use the longest dimension we have here. So the longest dimension we have here is, what do you think? What do you think? It's 3. Why? Because if we are going to rotate this one, we're going to look at the back, this one, the line here, this one, the back. We have this one cube, and the two that are that are behind these 2 cubes here, 2 unit cubes here. So we have 3. Okay, did you follow? We have 3. We have 1 here. We also have another 2 at the back of these 2 cubes. So we have a total of 3. So that means this cube, if we are going to make a bigger cube, we'll have 3 times 3 times 3. So we have 27. So that means to make a bigger cube, we'll have it 27 unit cubes, or this one unit cube. This one is a unit cube. Okay. So the question is, how many units should be added? And we have here, how many unit cubes? How many unit cubes? We have, let me get another color. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, 4, 5, 6. And also there are the other 2 unit cubes at the back of these 2. Okay? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Did you follow? So that means to get how many cubes we needed, we have to subtract the cubes we have here, from the cubes that we needed and that should be composed to have a bigger cube. So at 27 minus 8, this is how much? 27 minus 8 is 19. Okay. Okay, very good. You got the answer, the right answer. Here.
The answer is 19.
Yes, the answer is 19. We needed 19 more cubes to create a bigger cube. Okay, always remember that if the longest dimension is 3, this is always the answer, 27. Okay? So that, yeah, you can directly proceed here. Okay? Is this clear? Have you all
Yes.
understood this one?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes, very good. Okay, we'll proceed to the next number. Number 19. Okay. How long is the green thick line if the length of one side of the figure is given below? Okay, if you can remember from the previous session, okay, if you can remember, we already have the side of one, the length of one side of a square is already given, okay? However, for this problem, we were only given the length of this side. So what are we going to do? We have to divide the length, this one, 16, divided by, what do you think? The number of squares we have on this side. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 16 divided by 8 is equal to 2. So that means that the length of the squares, this one, the length here, their length is 2. This is 2, 2, 2, 2. So since it is a square, that means that the rest of its length is also 2, since a square has equal sides. Okay? And do this one. Oops. So now that we know the length of one side of the small squares, we can now proceed to counting the face or the side of the squares where the thick green line has crossed. Okay, we are going to count. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So we have a total of 29 sides of a small square where the green thick line have crossed. So what are we going to do next? Since we are going to, we are
29
the
times
length.
2.
29
29
times 2. Okay, very good. 29 times 2 is just equal to 58. Okay, so that means that the length of this green thick line is 58 centimeters. Okay.
Teacher,
Yes?
I put centimeters, but I was marked wrong again.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, why? Okay. Don't worry, I'll also note that. And
Teacher,
add it to the... Yes?
that happened to me too.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me note that. Where is the pen? Okay. Okay. Let me clear this one. Okay, let's proceed to number 20. Okay, now we have 5 more. 5 more numbers. 20. What is the value of 11 tenths plus 15 hundredths minus 98 ones? Okay. So what we're going to do here is to we have here 11 And since it is 10, we multiply it by 10. Plus 1500s. That means 15 times 100. And also, we have 98 ones. Or 98 times 1, that is just equal to 98. Okay, so now we are going to solve. We have 110 plus 1,500 minus 98. So, you can also, you can do, after this, you can do 1,610 minus 98. But I want you to solve comfortably, since 1,610 minus 98 is somewhat challenging. Not challenge. I know it's easy for you, but it would be easier if you will do this. Okay. Let me have a partition. 100 plus 10, that is just equal to 110, right? Minus 98 plus 1,500. So in this way, 98 and 100 minus 98 is just so easy to subtract. So that means 2 plus 10 plus 1,500. So this is just equal to 1,512. So it's up to you if whether you're comfortable with using this one or using this one. But for me, this is easier to subtract, and somehow it can consume less time. Okay? Okay? You get that? This is a technique here. This is a technique.
Yes.
Okay. So this one is just easy. You're just going to multiply it by tens, hundreds, and ones. Then you'll get the answer. Okay. Let's clear this one and proceed to number 21. Okay. In a local movie theater, the admission for a child is $3 and for an adult is $5. If a group of 5 people pay $21 admission, how many children are there in this group? So last session, I told you that we can solve this problem only by trial and error. Well, I was wrong. So we have a technique here. So can we proceed directly to the technique, or we can do the trial and error? Okay. What do you think? Let me show you the technique na lang.
I did.
You want the technique? Okay. So first, we know that the problem is to find how many children are there in the group. And since we have 5 people here, yeah, and never mind, children. So the first thing that we're going to do is to get the maximum of the people that are going to pay for the other group. So if we're going to look for the children, the group of the children, we're going to look first for the maximum of the adult. Like how much are they going to pay if there were only all adults? So adults, there are 5 people. So since it is a maximum, we are going to assume that the group has all adults. So 5 times, how much will they pay for a ticket for admission? It's $5. So that means they are going to pay, if there were all adults, they are going to pay $25. However, the problem says that they only paid $21. So we are going to subtract the actual amount that they have paid 25 minus 21. This is equal to 4. Okay? So we're going to find the difference. And then the next thing that we're going to do is find the difference of the tickets or the admissions. Okay. This is $5 minus $3. This is just equal to 2. Okay. So this is the interesting part here. We have the difference between the number of tickets from, yes, someone is raising. I'll entertain you later, okay? Let me just discuss. We already have the difference of the maximum and then the actual payment they have paid. So we have 4 and we have the total of, we also have the difference of the tickets. So the next part that we're going to do is to divide the difference, this one, with the difference of the tickets or the admission. So the answer is 2. So if we are going to check, if we have 3 children, so this is the children, okay? This is the one that we are looking for. So if we have 2 children, that means that they will pay $3 each, okay? And if there are 2 children, that also means that there are 3 adults, since the group has a total of 5 people. So, and they are going to pay $5 each. So that means we have 6 plus 15. That is just equal to 21. Okay. That is just equal to the admission that they have paid. So the answer is 2. So someone raised their hand kanina. Who was it?
Luca.
Luca?
Lucas.
Lucas. Okay. Where is Lucas? Okay, did you get this? First is to get, this is the first step. This first is to get the maximum of the other group. So if we are going to look for how many children, we'll get the maximum of the other group, which is the adult. Or if we are going to look for how many adults there are in the group, we're going to look for the maximum of the children. But since the problem says how many children, is looking for how many children, we went to find the maximum of the adult, or how much they have paid. So since there are 5 people here, we multiply 5 by the tickets that they are going to pay. Adults will pay $5, so we have 25. Then the next one is that we are going to subtract the total amount, that the actual amount that they have paid, to the maximum that we have acquired here, to the amount that we have acquired here. So 25 minus 21 is equal to 4. And then we will get the difference of the tickets or the admission. $5 for adult minus $3 for the children. So that would be equal to 2. Okay? And the last part here is to divide the difference of the amount, total amount, and the difference of the tickets or the prices per ticket. So we have 2. So that means, so we get the answer of 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. The answer is 2. The answer is 2. If you want, I can get you another example. You want an example? Yes, don't yes. Okay, I'll give you another example. Let me clear this first. So what if in a local movie theater the admission for a child is $3? It's just the same, and for an adult is $5. But if a group of people has, let me crush this one, 11. A group has 11 people and they pay $49. Let me make this clear. $49. How many we will be looking for adult na? Adult. Are there in the group? Okay. Can you solve this one? Can you solve this one for me? I'll give you a few minutes. Okay? You can try solving this one. Or do you want me to just solve it with you? What do you think? What do you think? What do you want?
We do the can we do it with you po?
Ano?
Can we do it with you?
Yes, okay. Wait. Okay. So, first thing that we're going to do is since we are looking for the adult here, we will look for the maximum. If there are 11 children, there are no adults. If there are no adults and all are 11 children, or all are children, then we have 11. Okay? We will look for the maximum of the other group. Since we are adult, then we look for the maximum of the children. So, since there are 11 people in the group, we have 11 times the amount that they are going to pay each. That is $3 for children, right? For a child, that is 3. So we'll have 33. Then the next thing that we are going to do is to subtract this from the total amount that they have paid. Okay, don't say bad words. Okay, Gillian is raising her hand. Please unmute, I can't hear you. Unmute, please. I can't hear you. You're talking, but I can't hear you.
You already noticed it.
What?
Already noticed it.
Okay, you already noticed. So, the next thing that we're going to do is to subtract this from the total amount that they have actually paid. So that means if they have actually paid $49, we subtract this one, and the answer would be 16. Is this right? 16? Okay. So what are we going to do next again? We're going to find the difference of the tickets or the admissions. 5 minus 3 is just equal to 2. And what next? The next thing that we're going to do is to divide 16 by the difference of the tickets. That is just equal to 8. Then that means that there are 8 adults in the group and 3 children. So we can go check, okay? If you want to check, you can go check. So since we have 8 adults, that means that we have 8 times 5 for since they're going to pay $5 for each admission plus 3 because 11 minus 8 is 3, right? So there are 3 children times 3. That means we'll have $40 plus $9, and that is just equal to $49. And that was right. That was the actual amount that they have paid. Okay? Did you get that? Was that confusing? Just remember the steps, okay? Just remember the steps. First is the maximum of the other group. So if there are 10, if there are a total of 10 people in the group, then we get the maximum. If we are going to look for the adult, then we are going to look for the maximum of the children. So if we have 11 times 3, because that is the amount that they are going to pay per head or per admission. So if we have 33, then we get the difference of the actual amount they have paid minus the maximum if there are 11 children. So we have 16, and then we'll get the difference of the tickets, the prices of the tickets. So we have 5 and we'll have 3. So we have 2. And then the next thing that we're going to do, the last thing that we're going to do is to divide this difference here. So messy. Is to find the difference here is to divide it from the difference of the tickets. That one here. So the answer would be 8. So this would be the answer. Okay, did you get that? Anyway, if you haven't yet, you can review this recording. I'll be uploading these recordings, so you can review this one, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let's proceed to the next number. It's number 22. Write the following multiplication fact as an addition fact. Fill the blanks with the correct figure. Use the numbers 4, 8, and 32. So, as a review, hey guys, don't curse in the chat. Okay, do not spam, please. Okay, let's proceed. We know that this one here is the multiplicand. And this one here is, let me write na lang. Multiplicand. This one here is the multiplier. So, the multiplicand, this one here, the multiplicand will be the one that will be added repeatedly. Okay, so we'll add 4. And 8 here, the multiplier will represent how many times it is repeating. It will be repeated. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is just equal to 32. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Everyone got it, right? I think this one is just easy. Okay, let's proceed to number 23. On a standard circular 12-hour clock, the numbers 1 and 7 are opposite to each other. In Planet Dogu, they use a circular 14-hour clock. What is the smallest sum of a pair of opposite numbers on a Doguyan clock? So where is Planet Dogu? Okay, so if we can observe now in a 12-hour clock, 12, the opposite of 12 is just its half. Okay? Let me draw. Okay. The opposite of 12 is just its half. So the half of 12 is 6, okay? This is our standard circular clock, right? Okay. So in Planet Dugu, where they used a 14-hour circular or a 14-hour clock, okay, if this is 14, then its opposite would be just its half. Okay, Yang, you're raising your hand. What is it?
What is Planet Dugu?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been to Planet Dugu too. This is just an example or just part of the problem.
Teacher,
Yes.
this is a mommy of cake. Can you take note of those kids on the chat that are cursing and report them to their moms or their parents because the kids should not be reading them. And they should not be typing those instead as well.
Yes. Okay. Okay, ma'am. So, kids, if you continue saying or chatting bad words, I'm going to kick you out. Okay? So, is it?
Let's also report them, please.
Yes. Let me read. Who is it? Okay, kids, you shouldn't say bad words. That
You
is
can take note of those chat in after you should have a record of those chats.
yes, this is a recorded session, so the chats are also recorded. Ma'am. Okay. So please stop it or else you will be kicked out. So let's proceed. Where was I? Okay. Since in Planet Dogo, where they use a 14-hour clock, the opposite of 14 will also be its half. So the opposite of 14 will also be 7. Okay? Do you agree? You agree? Thumbs up if you agree.
Teacher,
Yes.
have you ever been to Planet Dugu?
No, I haven't been to Planet Dugu. Where is Planet Dugu?
In the south of the world, I already went to it.
Ah, I already went there. Okay, let's proceed. So, since we know that 14 and 7 are opposite, then the next number, the number preceding them, is also the opposite. So, the opposite of 14, since this is a clock, and the next one to 14 is 1, and the next one to 7 is 8. Now, we are looking for the smallest sum of a pair of opposite numbers. So, at least for this problem, we will always get the smallest sum if it is paired with 1. Okay? Okay. So since we know that 1 is the opposite of 1 is 8, then we will get their sum, that is just 1 plus 8, and that is equal to 9. Okay? Did you get that? You get that?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Teacher, they
Okay.
keep saying that words fast.
Okay, they keep saying bad words. Don't worry, we're almost time, so let's just don't mind them. Let's just don't mind those disrespectful kids, okay? Just listen to me and don't look at the chat so that you won't be distracted. Okay? So now let's go to number 24. The pictograph represents the number of students in each class. How many more students are there in section pink? So we have students in section pink than in section blue. So this one here, are you familiar with the pictograph? This one here is a pictograph. Okay. So a pictograph always has its legend. So this one here is the legend. So we always have to take note of this one. Okay? And since we are looking for how many more students are there in section pink and in section blue, we are going to count. We are going to look for the number of students here in section pink and the number of students in section blue. So how are you going to do that? First, we count how many smileys are there, or how many smileys are this is the section pink represented. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 smileys. And since one smiley represents 3 students, we are going to multiply it by 3. Okay? So, oh, never mind. So 8 times 3 is equal to 24. All right? Also, in section blue, we'll have how many smileys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6. And then we multiply it by 3 because that is the legend here. So 6 times 3 is just equal to 18. So since we are looking for how many more students are there in section pink and in section blue, we are going to get their difference. Okay, we have 24 minus 18, and that is just equal to 6. Okay, is that right? But
Yes.
there is also another way.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
much simpler. It's more simple. So first we have to count how many smileys. So we have 8 smileys for section pink. And we subtract it with the number of smileys we have on section blue. And after we get their difference, we multiply it by the legend. With the legend, and that is 3. So we have 2 times 3. That is just equal to 6. So it's up to you or for where you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable using this one, then you can try this one. And if you're comfortable with this one, then you can try. But as you can see, this is much simpler and easy. Okay? Do you agree? Do you agree with that? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Proceed. Let's proceed to the last number. Okay, it's already the last number for this session. It's number 25 and it's very easy. The scale below shows how much one pumpkin weighs. How much would 6 pumpkins of the same size weigh? Okay.
6 kilos.
6 kilos. Okay. So what does the weight tells us? That a pumpkin weighs how many kilograms? 1 kilo. All right? And since we have 6 pumpkins, we multiply it by its weight for 1 pumpkin, then we'll have 6 kilos. Okay. That was just easy. Okay, what if the weight of the pumpkin is 3 kilos each. 1 pumpkin weighs 3 kilos. Then how much would 6 pumpkins of the same size weigh?
18.
18.
8
Yes.
kilos.
Yes. 6 times 3 is just equal to 18. Okay. Very good. Very good. You got it. Okay, so since this is the last number, thank you for listening. I hope that you have learned a lot from this session. And if you have any questions, you can also address it now. Okay.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, classmates. Goodbye.
Okay, someone was raising. Jillian.
Goodbye and thank you, Regine.
Oh, welcome.
Bye.
Bye. Jillian, what is the question?
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye, teacher.
Early harvest and
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Kids.
Bye. 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 See you later next Sunday.
Yeah, see you next Sunday.